What's up, people? Mike here. Long overdue. I've been absent for a while, but I am back now with inFAMOUS Second Son, the expert difficulty with good karma. So I'm recording this 2 days after the 1.70 update for the PS4 that gave you the option to disable HDCP. So I can legally record footage on the PlayStation 4, and it's a lot less complicated than it was before. I've watched videos of people showing how they were doing it, and just so much unnecessary bullshit that they had to do. So I'm just glad that, finally everything is easier now. So with this, I cut out most of the bullshit at the start, since there's really not much of a challenge for the beginning portions. Even this part with fighting this guy really isn't that bad. You just have to dash over to him, and you can pretty much just beat the shit out of him before he even has a chance to get a shot off on you. There's actually points where I've gone close to him before apparently the game is gonna let me, and I'm hitting him, but it's not like registering. The other thing I'm doing is that I'm leaving in all these moments when they give you the choice of the good or bad, and I'm just showing me selecting the good option. Oh, excuse me. Selecting the good option. And the other thing with the expert difficulty, unlike the previous games where I don't remember how it was with 2, but for inFAMOUS, the way the difficulty worked was after you started playing the game, depending on how well you did, the game usually automatically put the difficulty too hard for you. But with this game, you have to manually change it yourself. The only thing is that if you've already played the game once and finished it, before you start a new game, if you change the difficulty to expert and then start a new game, it'll automatically keep the difficulty at that setting. But if you're playing a brand new game and you just want to go on expert right from the start, the very first moment when you have control of Delson after the spray paint tutorial, you want to immediately pause the game and then set the difficulty to expert, and it should register it, but I found it easier just to set the difficulty and then start a new game. That way I knew that the game recognized the difficulty as expert right from the start, because the last thing I would want to do is go through the entire game and then not get the trophy because the game decides, oh, you weren't on expert for that 5 seconds or whatever, and fuck you out of the trophy, and depending on how long you play to beat the game. But most of this stuff at the beginning, this is just kind of helping you get used to your powers, and this is the introduction to either the subdue or destroy option. Obviously, for going with good karma, I will be subduing all the enemies that I can. There's moments where I am attacking an enemy and it'll suddenly give me that option, but in the mid motion of hitting the guy, and I kind of like get a bad karma moment for like killing the guy. But those moments are kind of spread out, so it's not too bad. And this whole crossing the bridge, I thought about just cutting it all out, just because there's really nothing challenging. It's just, you know, teaching you all the new abilities you get. But I figured I'd just speed it up and just, you know, keep the content in. And I feel like that there was something else. What was I forgetting? Oh yeah, the whole process with like the side missions and like the spray paint and all the various side things that you do to unlock the areas on the map. I'm gonna be doing most of those off camera, just because they're, except for like the showdowns when you get the district down to things like 30%, I think is when it unlocks. Other than that, all the things are pretty basic. You know, it's just destroying like the cameras for the command centers. Destroying the command centers, I may show those on video, since a couple of them might be a little challenging, especially on expert. I may not do all of them. It really depends. Any point where I can get the blast shards from like the flying drones and whatnot, I'm gonna do those. Since as much upgrades as I can get on this guide, I want to do. So I would say like between missions, just kind of like run around an area and just try and find as many of the drones as you can. And I think by like the 4th mission, I believe I show my upgrade menu to show like what upgrades I eventually have gotten. But it's either the 4th or the 5th video when I have the certain upgrades that I'll show on camera. But so far for this thing, this is basically the end of the first part. I'm just kind of running around here now and subduing these guys and getting at least the 10 required rescue for the trophy. I ended up unlocking that trophy, but it was when I wasn't recording, so it's fairly easy just running around. You eventually find enough people that need to be revived, and at any point where I can open these jail cells, I'm gonna do those too. There's a couple points during missions where you'll see me just randomly open one up while I'm like trying to run away from getting shot. And the other thing is destroy these scanners, since they have blast shards in them. And yeah, I'll see you in the second part of the first mission.